Okay, so now I'm going to kind of be showing the basics of the project I'm going to be doing with this UPS that I showed in the last video here. But right now, here's that UPS sitting on its side with some horribly badly attached wires. It's really bad. Don't even think about doing that. This is those jumper cables involved right now. So here's what I'm doing right now. So the UPS is sitting here. And I actually here have an extra marine battery. You probably can't see it. Here, let's bump up the exposure. He's hiding. Right there. Marine battery. It's not used very often. And when it is, I have an extra one to use instead. So I'm going to want to power this guy off of that battery. Not what it's intended to do, but it works just fine doing so. So I've ran this horrible cable here. Don't even think about it. There's jumper wires plugged into that battery to power this. But it's bad. Enough said. And then I have this multimeter here plugged into showing the voltage of the battery. So you can see those, okay, so the UPS right now is plugged into the wall. No, is it? Yeah, it's plugged into the wall right now. So if I unplug it from the wall, we see it was charging it slowly. So it jumps from, it's about 12.5 without being plugged in, 12.65 and being plugged in. So if I plug it in, it's slowly charging it, even if nothing's touched or anything. So that's kind of what I want. It also works as a trickle charger for those batteries, which is kind of the other half of the reason I got it. And if I turn on the guy, and then I also happen to have a lamp plugged in. Now, you'll probably be able to see through the camera that it's on. Now you can see, lamp's on, power's going through it. Now if I go switch it to test, which basically is the equivalent to unplugging it from the wall, it beeps a lot and drops to about 10.6 volts. I can't tell if that's beeping because it's dropped to 10.6 volts, or if that beeps just kind of, it does. So, there you go. Or because it drops to 10.6 volts, or it always beeps, there's a function that lets you turn off the beep, but it isn't working unless I hold it down, so that's kind of annoying. But I'm guessing the wiring right now is so bad that that's why the voltage is really low. These batteries should also be charged up to about 13.5, not 12.5, which they will be. And if you actually look at it, you could see it charging slowly. This multimeter has, there's way too many digits, but you can actually see it charging, which is kind of cool. So let's move over to the oscilloscope and look at another thing, which is kind of exciting. So I conveniently have the best looking thing on camera, which is an oscilloscope. Let's see if I can mess with this. Yeah, oscilloscopes don't look good on cameras. Even if I mess with shutter speed, you can see how it turns on the glowing effects and it's not perfectly synced, so it's slowly moving. Blah, I'm not going to touch it. It's just kind of bad. It's an analog one, so digital ones look a lot better. So this right here is the power coming out of it from the wall. And right now it's set to 5 volts per division. So we see this is 12 volt RMS. But because of how it works, it goes to positive 20 and then all the way down to negative 20. And that, because they do some math and stuff depending on how exactly a multimeter works and stuff, it's 12 volts. It's math and stuff. So right now if I go switch just to pull it from the battery instead of there, we could see the voltage actually drops off a little bit. Probably, I'm not measuring the output voltage, but I'm guessing maybe around, might be the same though, because of how it's a different shape. And RMS calculates like time and some other things into the matter that the multimeters use. So if I switch it, the big thing you notice is this isn't a perfect waveform. This is, I've also used a lot of other ones, unless it's branded as a pure sine wave one. So we can see a pure sine wave one would do this. It turns it on, turns it off, turns it on again, and does it. Unlike the pure sine wave here, which is a nice linear sine wave. So there you go, there's a little look. The light bulb dims a little bit. I'm not worried about that. The computers work fine with this. There is some electronics that's a little bit finicky. I don't know of any off the top of my head that is finicky about it, but if you're using analog electronics and stuff, like analog radios and stuff, can be kind of annoyed by it. So, there you go. Now, I'm still kind of messing with this, but if I ever get the wiring right, because if I pan down, you could see, here's the current state of the wiring. That's jumper wire. That's really bad. Don't even think about doing that ever. Except for test. I'm actually going to hook up some proper 10 gauge wire and hook it up to multiple of those batteries as well. So then this guy here will actually be plugged up properly in the next part of the video once I get a few more supplies and things. Let's go turn it off now because that light bulb actually makes quite a bit of heat. It's a 40-watt light bulb. So yeah. So there you go. I'm going to continue doing a little bit more work on that guy and see if I can get it to work properly with all those batteries, because I'm going to run multiple of those batteries in parallel. So then I can take out some of them and it'll keep working. And it also charges it very slowly, which is nice. So it's basically a trickle charger that keeps all the batteries full. So batteries die if they aren't kept with a certain amount of charge. Lead acid batteries, if you let them die fully, the battery life goes down, or the life of the battery goes down significantly. So there was my quick little look at that, my first part of the project, and I'm going to update this once I have the second part of the project, which is proper wiring. Because that's really bad. Don't ever do that.